You know, I got up early this morning and I had to remind myself of something. Doug, you are not carrying today alone. Because, some mornings feel heavier than others. You wake up thinking about everything that still needs your attention. There are responsibilities waiting, conversations you still need to have, bills that need to be paid, people depending on you, and questions you still cannot answer. Even so, you get up, you keep moving, you keep showing up. That says something good about you. It means there is still courage in you, even when you do not feel especially strong. It means hope is still present, even if it looks smaller today than it did yesterday. What you need to hear today is simple. You do not have to carry everything alone. It's true. Jesus says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." That's not a warning, it's an invitation. Jesus is not standing at a distance waiting for you to become stronger. He is not asking you to solve every problem before approaching Him. He does not require a perfect attitude, a polished prayer, or a complete plan. He simply says, "Come to me." Come with questions. Come with unfinished work. Come with the concern that keeps returning. Come with the hope you are trying to hold on to. Jesus meets people where they are, not where they think they should be. Throughout the Gospels, people come to him in many ways with many different conditions. Some are afraid, some are grieving, some are confused, some have made mistakes. Some do not even know exactly what to ask for. They come anyway, and so should you. Jesus does not turn them away because they are still figuring life out. He listens, he teaches, he restores, he gives people another step forward. That is encouraging because all of us are unfinished. You may still be learning how to trust again. You may be still finding your confidence after a difficult season. You may still be waiting for an answer. You may still be working through something you thought would be resolved by now. None of that means that God has forgotten you. Growth often happens slowly. Healing often comes one day at a time. Some prayers are answered through a process rather than a single moment. Jesus remains patient through the process. I want you to think about Peter. Now, Peter loves Jesus, but he also makes mistakes. He speaks too quickly, misunderstands what is happening, becomes frightened, and eventually denies knowing Jesus. That failure could become the end of his story, but it does not. After the resurrection, Jesus meets Peter again on a beach. He does not reduce Peter to his worst moment. He restores him and gives him meaningful work to do. Now, Peter's failure is real, but so is his future. That lesson belongs to you as well. A mistake can teach you without defining you. A setback can redirect you without destroying you. A difficult season can shape you without becoming your entire story. Jesus sees more than where you have been. He sees where grace can lead you next. So instead of asking yourself to carry the rest of your life today, focus on the next faithful step. Maybe that step is making one phone call. Maybe it's finishing one task. Maybe it's asking for help instead of pretending you are fine. Maybe it's resting long enough to think clearly. Maybe it's forgiving yourself for not having every answer. Maybe it is praying one honest sentence, something like, Jesus, lead me through today. Now, that prayer is enough to begin. You do not need strength for every future challenge right now. You need grace for the part of the road that is directly in front of you. And Jesus teaches us to ask for daily bread. That means we can trust God for what today requires without trying to carry tomorrow before it arrives. Tomorrow will have its own grace. Today has grace too. And sometimes we miss that grace because we're waiting for something dramatic. We expect help to arrive as a sudden breakthrough, a complete answer, or a problem just disappearing overnight. You know what? Thankfully, sometimes it does. But often, grace appears quietly. It may be the right words during a difficult conversation. It may be the patience to respond instead of react. It may be the courage to try again. It may be a friend who checks on you at the right time, or maybe a new idea, an unexpected opportunity, or a moment of peace that reminds you that you are going to be all right. Small mercy is still mercy. A small step forward, it's still movement. A small amount of hope is still enough to begin. Jesus often works through ordinary moments. He meets people on roads, beside water, around tables, and inside homes. He meets you in ordinary places too. He meets you during the drive to work. He meets you while you're making dinner. He meets you while you sit quietly before the day begins. He meets you when you take a breath and decide that today will not be ruled by fear. You do not have to feel powerful for God to be working in your life. You do not have to feel certain in order to take the next step. Faith is not always a loud declaration. Sometimes faith is quietly saying, I am going to keep going because Jesus is still with me. Now, there is more ahead of you than what you can see from where you stand today. There are people you have not met yet. There are opportunities you do not know about. There are answers already moving toward you in ways you cannot yet recognize. There are parts of you still growing stronger. There are prayers still unfolding. Do not judge your entire future by one difficult day. Today may be demanding, but it is not empty. God can use this day to give you wisdom, patience, clarity, and courage. He can help you recognize what matters, release what does not belong to you, and move toward what is good. You are allowed to be hopeful. You're allowed to believe that something can change. You're allowed to begin again, even if you have begun again many times before. Jesus is not disappointed that you need him. Needing him is part of the relationship he invites you into. He says, come to me, because he wants you near. He wants to give you rest for your mind, steadiness for your heart, and strength for your next step. So breathe deeply. Look at what is directly in front of you. Do the next good thing you know to do. Let people help you. Notice the small gifts in the day. Trust that you do not have to understand the entire path to take one more faithful step. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not without purpose. You are not facing today alone. Jesus is still with you, and there is still good ahead. Truth. My name is Douglas Vandergraph, and I believe in Jesus Christ. God bless every single one of you. Every single one.